as a volunteer firefighter. Police in Saratoga say a drunk driver crashed his car into a house early this morning. 22-year-old Robert Weinstein is a student at Skidmore College. He was driving down Church Street when he went off the road, hit a fire hydrant, went through an iron fence, and right into the house. He had minor injuries and was charged with DWI and speeding. Fire has destroyed a home in the Lamplighter Mobile Home Park in South Glens Falls. Investigators believe it started on the porch, but they haven't determined how. The family was able to get out okay. Firefighters were able to keep the blaze from spreading to nearby homes, but the heat from the fire melted siding on the house next door. Just miles away, a brush fire in Lake George. Fire crews had to battle a fire on Prospect Mountain. A man riding a dirt bike on a trail this afternoon noticed flames from a branch that fell on power lines. A total of 4 acres burned in a 2-hour span. Crews had a rough time getting to the burning brush.
It's quite dangerous, especially with high winds, and the wind's constantly changing, moving around and everything. You have to be real careful what you're doing and watch what you're doing.
Has this happened before?
It's been a long while since we've been up here on the mountain for a fire.
Firefighters worked from the top of the mountain down and used ATVs to get through the forest. Conservation officials in Berkshire County are trying to figure out why thousands of dead fish are washing up on local shores. Reports of the dead smelt began last week after fishermen spotted them strewn across the shores of Oneida Lake. Local biologists say the fact that only one species are turning up dead points to natural causes, not pollution. But local fishermen disagree.
Smaller, 8 inches to 10 inches long smelt, not of natural cause. I'm not sure what possibly could have done this.
The biologists are blaming the fish kill on the unseasonably hot weather and spawning. Another hot, dry day has led to more water restrictions locally. Water District 11 in the town of Glenville and all extensions, including the Charlton Water District, Ballston Water District 2, and Rexford Water District 2 are affected. Lawn and garden watering are allowed on an odd, even street number basis between the hours of 7 and 9 a.m. and 7 and 9 p.m. And in the town of Colony, all watering and car washing is banned between the hours of noon and 9 p.m. through July 1st. Folks in parts of Saratoga County are being urged to boil their water before they use it. The advisory is in effect for Schuylerville and Victory until further notice. Town officials say a malfunction in the chlorination system could allow disease-causing organisms into the water. A beautiful day for walkers who hit the streets in Albany for a good cause. We'll see what they were out for. First, though, let's check in with Lee Copson for a first look at the forecast. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Kelly. And unfortunately, the problems with the brush fires and the water restrictions are going to continue because we have a dry forecast. That makes for good news for recreation. Here's your boating forecast for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine, less of a breeze than what we saw today, only out of the north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies, excellent visibility. Air temperatures on the water in the 60s, and that water temperature, well, it's a little early for us to get any readings yet, but it's chilly out there. Wetsuit recommended, upper 40s and low 50s probably on most area lakes and rivers right now, so bundle up if you're heading into the water. But it is going to be a nice day. We'll give you the dry forecast and let you know when we may see some rain coming up in a few moments. Kelly.
All right, thank you, Lee. There was a party with a purpose in Rensselaer tonight. Money raised there will go to help a little girl in need of an operation. Karen Lehane has the story from the newsroom. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Kelly. 7-year-old Kaylin Mooney's parents hope this operation is the last for their little girl. And with help from friends and strangers, they think it will be.
We've been working on this since she was 3, trying to find the right person.
The right person to surgically correct daughter Kaylin's birth defect called bladder exstrophy, which means her bladder is outside her body. The Mooneys chose a surgeon not included in their insurance plan, so family, friends, and even strangers have come together to raise money for the surgery at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, a 2-month recuperation for Kaylin, and for the cost of having her parents by her side.
We're both lifelong residents of the city of Rensselaer, and there's people here that I don't even know. They come up to me, they've handed me checks. People in the local store have just seen us out and says, here's $10 for your daughter, it's all I can do. It's mind-boggling. When you're from a small city, it pays to be from a small city because we take care of our own. It's a beautiful thing.
Around 300 people came out for donated food and drink for Kaylin's cause. She's had 2 major surgeries and several other minor ones.
She's doing great. Luckily, she's a healthy girl otherwise. We're hoping this will be the last one, and we'll be able to get on with our lives.
Just as the city has helped others get along with theirs.
A few years back, the city did a benefits for our fire chief who had a heart transplant, and it was called Have a Heart for Phil. And that's where this whole idea came from out of that. And I mean, he's here, everybody's here.
Jill Spath's son goes to school with Kaylin at St. Joseph's St. John's Academy in Rensselaer, and she knows Kaylin's parents.
They're just a great family.
And there is one more benefit that is scheduled for Kaylin, and that is a bowl-a-thon. It's June 3rd from 1 to 4 at Bowlers Club in Latham, and if you're interested in going to that, you can give them a call. And Kelly, tonight, up to date, $25,000 raised for this little girl, her operation, her stay and her parents' stay in Baltimore.
Wow. Thank you, Karen. Walkers and runners were out in Albany today to raise awareness for organ donations. The second annual Neighborhood Challenge was sponsored by Albany Medical Center and organized by a family member of one of the 75,000 people currently waiting for organ transplants. Many transplant patients and families of organ and tissue donors participated today. The 127th Kentucky Derby got underway with a bang today.
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby. And sung
America's most famous horse race had local fans rushing to OTBs to place their bets. OTBs were so busy they allowed customers to drive up and bet. And the winner was number 16, Monarchos. And by the way, Kid Picks of Saratoga picked the winner again this year in their 12th year of kicking off the racing season at Saratoga. Lars Lifrak will have more on that coming up in just a few moments. Coming up, Pope John Paul II makes a pilgrimage to the Middle East, pleading the two sides for peace. And today marks an important day for Mexicans. We'll show you the festivities of Cinco de Mayo when we come back.
Live, local, late breaking with Kelly Lynch, meteorologist Lee Copson, and Lars Lifrak on sports. This is News Channel 13, live at 11. News Channel 13 is sponsored in part by your Dodge dealer and by State Farm Insurance.
Welcome back. Pope John Paul II is pleading for peace in the Middle East. The Pope is in Syria as part of a 6-day pilgrimage retracing the travels of St. Paul. Despite the Pope's plea, the violence continues where Israelis have attacked the town of Jericho in the West Bank. Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat is now calling for a new Mideast peace summit. Celebrations are in full swing today in Mexico for Cinco de Mayo. It means the 5th of May and marks the anniversary of Mexico's victory over the French in 1862. In Mexico City, a reenactment of the battle was held to mark the occasion. And President Bush also observed Cinco de Mayo and hosted his radio show in Spanish. In the address, Bush pledged to continue efforts to maintain ties with Mexico. He also says he plans to continue with 2 versions of his weekly radio address, one in English and the other in Spanish. Election 2000 is history, and so are those infamous ballots in Palm Beach County. The county is getting rid of the voting machines that used butterfly ballots and produced dimpled chads. The old machines will go on sale on eBay to help the county pay for the new voting equipment. Some county officials say the machines could raise up to $10 million, even though they originally cost about $150 each. Still to come, tonight's winning lottery numbers, and up next, the first warning forecast. Welcome back to Cinco de Mayo celebrations in Colony tonight. Festivities got underway early this evening at Garcia's restaurant in Colony, and these partygoers are living up to the Mexican Independence Day with the margarita of their choice. Our Mexican-like weather, though, is heading out for a little while.
Yeah, it got a little cooler today, but wow, what a stretch there, the 4 days, way up in the upper 80s to close to 90, and it's been very dry. Let's talk about that right now. Here we go. Not a lot of rain to speak of in the last few days. We actually had, in the last few weeks, I should rephrase that. We had a little bit of shower activity move through the northern part of the viewing area this morning with a whopping 1/10 of an inch of precipitation officially in Albany, and you can see dating all the way back April 21st, April 12th, 300ths on both of those days. Those are squirty amounts. Get them out of here. April 8th and 9th, the last time we saw any amount of significant precipitation with some thunderstorms that rolled through. So it's been close to a month now since we've seen any significant rain around here, and that's causing the problem, of course, with the water restrictions and the fire danger. So do keep that in mind. Take it easy out there with your water use and, of course, any open flame outside. Here's the front that pushed through with a little bit of shower activity. Watch the showers fall apart as that front sagged to the south. What it did do was bring in some cooler and drier Canadian air for this afternoon. And it's cooler right now, 49 degrees. That's our low so far for today. 70 degrees our high this afternoon. That's still above the average, but about 15 to 20 degrees cooler than what we saw the previous 4 days, well shy of our record of 91 set in 1944. Winds are starting to diminish now. They're out of the north at 7 miles per hour, and that combination of clear skies and diminishing winds will allow that temperature to continue to drop off through the overnight period. 30 already at Lake Placid. 40, that's actually popped up from 38 in Plattsburgh. But check out the 40s locally. It is a bit chilly. We'll take a quick look right now at pinpoint Doppler radar and show you some of the local temperatures, hovering close to 50 degrees in the Capital District. But notice the outlying areas: Bolton 43, Bennington 45, 43 in Cobleskill, 45 in Caroga Lake. So some spots already down into the mid-40s, and we'll be going down into the mid-30s through the overnight period. National weather scene showing a mess in the midsection of the country, with lots of severe weather breaking out in the plains and northeast Texas, with some very humid Gulf air being intercepted by some drier air trying to work in the back. Very clear and dry along the west coast. Unfortunately, as we show you the radar picture, this precipitation in the midsection of the country is pulling to the north and not to the east, because high pressure in Canada is slipping in here, and it is going to control our weather. So unfortunately, we need this precipitation in here, but it's not heading our way, at least not through the midweek period. Here's what is going to happen. Again, high pressure in control, cool right on through Monday morning. High pressure continues to slide to the east, lots of sunshine. By Monday afternoon and Tuesday, warmer temperatures. I'll give you the forecast right after the break. Clear and chilly overnight, with winds diminishing and sheltered valley frost, especially as you head up into the Adirondacks. Overnight lows in the Capital District will be in the middle to upper 30s. It will rebound nicely tomorrow. Mostly sunny, pleasant in the afternoon. Less of a breeze than what we saw today. Temperatures in the middle to upper 60s. Clear and cold tomorrow night. Scattered frost around 32 to 37 degrees under the moonlit skies. Mostly sunny, warmer for Monday afternoon, with highs in the lower 70s. Getting close to 80 for Tuesday. Dry on Wednesday, 75 degrees, and then our chance of showers coming in for Thursday, but it's not a big rain event. It's just going to be hit or miss showers once again, so that dry weather continues, and we expect the fire problems and the water restrictions to continue as well.
We really need that rain.
We'll keep our fingers crossed, but we don't see any coming anytime soon.
All right. Thanks, Lee.
Okay.
Were you at the prom tonight?
No, I'm just big derby kind of a mood.
Thought
Roses.
that was a boutonniere.
It kind of is. We have all the sights and the sounds from the derby, and we'll hear from the winning jockey. Plus, NBA and NHL highlights, including the Devils and Maple Leafs in the first game since the Ty Domi incident. Welcome back. We will start where else? The Churchill Downs, the 127th running of the Kentucky Derby, and there was a large, deep field for all of us to watch in this one. The field led to a blazing pace by Song and a Prayer, but as they hit the stretch, Congaree in front. Here's Tom Durkin with the stretch run. So it's Monarcos. There was a protest lodged by Invisible Ink jockey John Velasquez. He claimed his horse was impeded by Monarcos, but that claim was quickly denied. So Jorge Chavez wins his first Kentucky Derby aboard Monarcos in the second fastest Derby time ever. He was followed by Invisible Ink and Congaree. The exacta was a whopping $1,200 plus, and I hope someone out there in our viewing audience was able to win the trifecta. That was worth more than $12,000.
After the water pass, when I coming back, he said, "You broke the track record." I said, "Oh, I don't know. I hope I did it." And after I find out was the second best track record.
We will have more on the Kentucky Derby tomorrow night on Big Board Sports with our racing analyst Anthony Mormino, who did, by the way, have Monarcos winning. To the NHL, the Devils hosting Toronto in Game 5 of their series. The Maple Leafs, of course, without Ty Domi. He's been suspended for the rest of the postseason after that cheap shot elbow to the head of Scott Niedermayer. First period action, Toronto on a two-man advantage. Brian McCabe scores basically from point-blank range. It's 1-0 Leafs. We jump ahead, 2-1 Leafs in the second. Jason Arnott off the rebound right here, pokes the puck up and in, and it is all tied up, and it stays that way until the very end of regulation. Looked like we were headed to overtime until Thomas Caverly scores with just 30 seconds left in the game. Leafs win it 3-2. Pens and Sabres also playing Game 5. Pittsburgh up 2-1 in the third, but watch this. Curtis Brown here loses control of the puck, but Johan Hedberg and Alexei Kovalev knock the puck back into their own net. Not good. We go to overtime in OT. Stu Barnes, the 40-foot slap shot, a rocket to the top shelf there. Sabres steal this one. 3-2 the final. Buffalo leads the series 3-2. To the NBA, where Knicks fans are searching for a team to get behind. How about the upstart Dallas Mavericks? They were facing powerful San Antonio in Game 1 of the Western Semis today. An ugly moment in the first half. San Antonio's Derek Anderson drives, clobbered by Dallas forward Juwan Howard. Ouch. Anderson suffers a separated shoulder. He'll miss 3 to 6 weeks. Howard was ejected from the game. It was a 13-point game at the half, and the Spurs pull away in the second. Tim Duncan, 31 points, 13 rebounds. San Antonio wins 94-78. To baseball, after a slow start, the Yankees are starting to look like the Yankees again. They've used some timely hitting and solid pitching to win 6 of their last 8 games. Derek Jeter, big factor today. Third inning, Yankees up 1-0. And Jeter singles. Scott Brocious comes in. Good stuff. Later in the inning, though, watch this. Willis Roberts walks Bernie Williams with runners on first and third. Catcher Fernando Lunar forgot the count. Threw down to second. There, Jeter steals home. Pretty easy stuff, really. Andy Pettit, 7 strong innings. Yankees win it. 5-2 was the final. The Red Sox in Oakland trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. And up 1-0 in the third. Chris Steins blasts a solo home run to left. His first of the year. He later added an RBI double. Boston wins it 7-1. Some other scores for you. Toronto losing at Seattle. Good news for both the Red Sox and the Yankees. Cleveland knocks off Tampa Bay. Minnesota winning at Kansas City as we speak. And Texas shuts out Chicago 2-0. National League, the Mets hosting Arizona. Glendon Rush looking good today. He throws 7 innings of 1-run ball with 5 strikeouts, including Matt Williams right there. And then in the 6th, Mets up 3-1. Rush lays down the perfect suicide squeeze bunt. Mets go on to win it 8-1. It's good to see Mr. Met happy about that. Some other scores, and there are lots of them. Philadelphia doubling up San Francisco. Atlanta, 1 better than St. Louis. Rick Ankiel having more control problems again. Milwaukee knocks off Florida 8-2. Houston 1 better than Montreal. Cincinnati 5-2 winners over losing against San Diego 5-2. And look at the next score. Chicago blows out Los Angeles 20-1. Sammy Sosa had a home run and 4 RBIs. Pittsburgh knocks off Colorado. And we do have the Arena Football League for you Firebird fans out there. A big game for the Firebirds beating New York 85-73. Winston Cup action under the lights tonight. The Pontiac Excitement 400 late in the race. Tony Stewart gets by Rusty Wallace, and he takes the lead all the way home from there, about 40 laps. Gets his first win of the season. To the LPGA Tour, the Chick-fil-A Championships, locals Dottie Pepper and Laura Diaz were on the leaderboard after 1 round, but both falling back today. They're both 4 under par, 5 shots behind tri-leaders Sophie Gustafson, Heather Daly D'Onofrio, and that lady right there, Beth Daniel, all at 9 under par. And finally, the University of Albany honoring the athletic teams tonight at the school. Our own Roger Weiland, the MC for the first annual Great Danes Awards night. 19 men's and women's sports teams were honored in all. And that's it for sports.
All right, thank you, Lars. We'll be back with a last look at the forecast, but first, tonight's winning lottery numbers. More than 50 World War II vets became high school grads today. 60 years later, the vets were handed their diplomas in a ceremony in Schoharie County. It's all part of Operation Recognition, a program designed for vets who served in the military before they were able to finish high school. School officials in Schoharie County spearheaded the program and hope to follow suit with vets from other wars as well. Meantime, kids from around the capital region were working on getting their wings at the Empire State Aerosciences Museum in Schenectady today. Kids from Albany, Schenectady, Saratoga, and Troy learned how to build rockets, got dressed in flight suits, and eventually went for a ride in the cockpit of a fighter plane. It's part of a nationwide program called Young Eagles.
I would like the stimulator. I would like to have 2 favorite parts, the stimulator and the flying. Those are my 2 favorite parts.
Is this the first time you've been up in the air?
No, it's been like this is like my 3rd time here.
I went to go up and I went all the way up and then I hit a nosedive. And the planes are great flying and stuff.
Even more excited than the kids was our photographer Lou Graff, who got to go up in the fighter plane with them. clear day. They could see forever up
Very
there.
nice, and it will be very clear tomorrow as well. Lots of sunshine coming back, mostly sunny, pleasant, mid to upper 60s. A cold night tomorrow, so a cold start to Monday, but a nice recovery in the afternoon, low 70s, close to 80 on Tuesday. Our next chance of precipitation, which we need, is a chance of showers coming for Thursday. So keep your fingers crossed because it is bone dry out there.
All right. Thank you, Lee.
Okay.
And that'll do it for us. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Good night.